New details now about the man killed in a Snellville church parking lot. The victim has been identified as Oscar Alexis Cruz. Gwinnett County Police say someone came across the 28-year-old's body yesterday at Cannon United Methodist Church right on Webb Gin House Road. Authorities have not said if they have any suspects, but police did tell us that they believe this was an isolated incident.
In the early hours of a quiet Georgia morning, a name whispered through music circles and street rumors would soon echo through police scanners and courtroom walls. Michael L. Goldene, better known as OTF Boona, had been off the grid until August of 2025, when everything unraveled at once. What happened that night? Why were multiple agencies already looking for him? And what did investigators find that turned a simple traffic stop into a murder arrest? Tonight, we piece together a chain of events darker and more tangled than anyone expected. Just after 1 a.m. on July 22nd, in a quiet subdivision in Gwinnett County, the night should have been still. Families asleep, streetlights humming, nothing out of place. But inside one home in Gin Blossom Circle, something violent and chaotic erupted. Authorities say two men forced their way inside, one of them Michael Goldene. No neighbors reported screams, no alarms went off, but investigators say the scene told a different story, a struggle, duct tape, and a father dragged from his own home at gunpoint. The victim, 28-year-old Oscar Oz Cruz, was last seen alive as he was pushed into a vehicle and driven into the darkness. Nobody knew he was gone. Nobody knew he needed help. Not yet.
Gwinnett County Police are looking for a gunman who shot and killed someone at a church parking lot this morning. Talking to Gwinnett County Bureau Chief Matt Johnson's live near Snellville. Matt, neighbors were actually surprised they didn't hear any gunshots.
And Gwinnett County Police detectives spent hours combing through this church parking lot behind me looking for clues in a homicide. It was a startling scene for a lot of people nearby, and neighbors tell me there's a lot of questions about how this happened and why. The morning started like any other along Webb Gin House Road until neighbors saw police and a body in a parking lot of a church.
My husband was driving, it was around 7 a.m. leaving to work, and he actually saw the body and saw the officers, and he stopped and he was like, you know, should we be worried?
What makes this mystery even more puzzling is what Abby Gonzalez and her neighbors say they didn't hear at around 6 o'clock Tuesday morning. No gunshots, no screams, no sounds of violence that would explain how a man in his 20s ended up dead with a gunshot wound.
I have two little ones in the house, and we're always outside here in the church, so it makes us feel scared a little bit.
Cannon United Methodist Church is where children play and families gather for worship, not where Gwinnett police usually find themselves searching for clues.
We do not believe there's any association with the church itself.
Police spent the day combing through evidence, and the church canceled preschool classes while detectives investigated.
Thankfully, it wasn't like when the kids were around or anything.
Neighbors are left wondering why this tragedy came to their doorstep.
But we know that we've been living here for 3 years, and nothing like that has ever happened around here, so we're a little calm about that.
And after being closed for today, the church plans to reopen for families tomorrow. Police have not yet identified the victim as they work to notify his family.
What happened on that drive remains almost completely silent in the official record. Miles passed, neighborhoods faded. Cruz, hands bound, was taken deeper into Snellville. Investigators later said the kidnapper stole money and personal belongings while holding him at gunpoint. To them, it was control. To Cruz, it was a countdown. The men finally stopped at a place that couldn't be more unexpected, Cannon United Methodist Church, a spot usually associated with peace, prayer, and safety. But on that night, it became something else entirely. Authorities say Cruz was shot 17 times, execution style. His body left in the church parking lot, alone and unrecognizable in the darkness. It would take hours for anyone to find him. When investigators arrived, what they found wasn't just a homicide. It was a message, a crime too organized, too deliberate, too personal. They followed the trail backward, from the church to the stolen valuables, to the ransacked house on Gin Blossom Circle. Soon, names began to surface. Raymond Cooper, Michael Goldene, But these weren't random suspects. Both had history. Both had ties to earlier incidents. And for Goldene, OTF Boona, this wasn't the first time investigators had his name on their desk. Back in 2021, he had been arrested in connection to a mall shooting that injured multiple people, including a 6-year-old child. He had slipped through before, but not this time.
News right now, Cobb County